Hello again, Jess Milford Photo Guy, here to talk about something we probably take for granted nowadays when we use our DSLR cameras, and that's focus, how sharp our picture is rendered to us by the camera's autofocus system. They're pretty smart, boy. You know, back in the old days when the first autofocus cameras came out, they only focused in the center, and they didn't focus in very low light, and moving subjects sometimes presented a problem. Most of that's all been fixed by new autofocus systems that can sample and evaluate and determine closest subject, work in far lower light conditions, and is smart. In some cases can even be set for a particular type of activity that you're going to photograph. But there are times when even the smartest autofocus can get fooled. Extremely low light or low contrast subject matter, hard for your camera to pick a spot to focus on, or a very busy photograph. Take a look at this shot I made a few years ago of a hungry little bird that I posed for me on a branch there. Now if you look at that picture, where would your camera normally want to focus? Well, it would want to focus on the closest branch, if it could discern that, and probably would, and not focus on the bird, which of course is our subject. Now, different cameras have more elaborate override systems, so you can move and change a box around. But of course, I'm going to say that we all have manual focus override. It's right on our lens here. Right on the side of your lens it says A and M, and autofocus and manual. Some of you might have it on body too, but the lens is always where your go-to place for manual focus override. And you go to M, and now you're old school. You're back to manual focus, where you don't turn the zoom ring, but those of you with 18 to 55s will have a small little ring up top. In this case, I have an 18 to 140, and it's the ring at the back of the lens, and that changes the focus or how sharp our subject might be. So in the case of our little birdie right there, I can compose the way I want, not caring about focus, because I'm going to just change the focus as I look through the camera, get the bird all lined up, and make frame after frame of sharp pictures of that bird, not worrying about my camera refocusing as I go along and make frames. Importantly, you want to make sure that your viewfinder diopter setting is adjusted for your eye. This is your viewfinder sharpness setting, and that's of course if you're using your eye level viewfinder. Those of you who might use your live view, you can try that. Of course, I'm going to say oftentimes on a day like I photograph that bird, it's bright, it's easier to use the eye level viewfinder. You want to change that sharpness adjuster, look through there in autofocus, touch down, get a focus lock on something, and just turn that little knob or move that little slide if that's what your camera has, so that things look sharp through that viewfinder. So when you do need the manual focus, you've got the sharpest viewfinder you can get on your camera to make those critical sharpness adjustments. So that's my tip. Hope to see you at one of our events real soon. As always, take and make great pictures. Take care.